LeeAnne Stout. Hi, good morning. My name is LeeAnne Stout. Thank you for joining me today. What I'm going to do from CIS Leads, we are going to give you a quick review of our service. You have an idea if this can make sense for you and help you find some new work. But before we get started, I want to give you some background on CIS. So CIS, we're a local project lead service. We've been in business for 32 years. It's a father and daughter-owned business. And we're kind of started, our CEO is a civil engineer by trade, and it really started this company due to his own frustration. He felt like he didn't have enough time to bid a project, didn't know about mandatory pre-bid meetings, missing bid results, driving by and seeing a lot cleared for a private job. He had no idea what it was. So his goal was to cover really small geography, but to know everything that happens within it. So the territory we cover is the state of New Jersey, the state of Delaware. We also do the 5 surrounding Philadelphia counties: Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, and Bucks, and Philadelphia, as well as New York City, Long Island, and Southern New York State. That makes up everything that we cover. And within that, we're doing both public work and private work. So our public work is local, county, state, federal, any shape or size, from buildings to roads, utilities, bridges, marine work, and anything in between. We're combing through local papers. We get main papers delivered. We're checking websites daily. And as I mentioned, the unique part about us being local and based right here in New Jersey is we physically pick up local town papers where they hide bids. So that way we don't miss anything that's going on, and you'll have enough time to bid it. So on private side, we do private work as well. Private work is based on new construction of commercial buildings that are 5,000 square foot and greater, and residential 10 dwelling units or more. So I wanted to give you a brief background on CIS, and now let's get started. So my desktop is your home screen. I'm going to walk you around the home page, and we'll dig into some of the reports. So over here is where you can kind of create some customized reports. These buttons stay static. So if you're ever lost on a page, you can hit my desktop and bring you back. These are the starter reports we kind of start your company with. This section over here is a quick search. So you're trying, think of it as Google, trying to find something quickly. And this over here is for tracking projects and contractors. We'll get into it a little bit later. Let's start off with our daily report. So Monday through Friday, we update this report. It's basically the brand new projects, the updates, the previous day's bid results. So it's one day snapshot. Today is Thursday. So if you see, there's 5 tabs at the top: pre-planning, planning, and negotiated. These tabs are primarily private-owned projects versus out to bid and bid results are primarily public-owned projects. So I'm going to give you an example of each one. If we were to click on this restaurant and hotel at the Rams Head Inn in Galloway, this is a new project. It was just published today. All dates for our projects are published at the top. And what I always tell people for these jobs is really go to the description first to find out if this is something you even care about, and don't waste a lot of time reading it if it's not a good project. So in this case, it's restoration of the existing restaurant on the property and construction of a new hotel. So if this is something you like, you want to move on to the planning notes. So as of yesterday, the Atlantic City Rescue Mission has purchased the property with plans to restore the current restaurant and also build a hotel. So this gives you some of the work included, who the owner is, their contact information, the location, where it's going. And you can track this project. What I'll show you again on the homepage where that goes in a second. But if this is a good one, you want to make sure you track it. Now, planning is the final approval. So pre-planning, again, is the early conceptual sketch plan, zoning, fundraising. Planning is the final approval before the planning board. Both pre-planning and planning do not have GCs awarded in this stage. And our demo today is really catered to the demolition contractor. So I'm going to be focusing a lot on that as we're going through some of these reports. So if we were to click on this warehouse properties, because shocking, there's another warehouse going up in New Jersey. So the description here, again, this developer is doing business as KMT Properties, LLC, construction of 126,000 square foot refrigerated warehouse. It looks like this was just approved on 6/14. You have, again, your owner developer contact information. There's an attorney, what location it is. And again, you can track it. You can also add yourself as interested on a project here as well, as you see a couple of people have already done. And this goes directly to your company profile page as well, which we'll get into shortly. Now I'm going to hop over these two and go to the last private tab, which is negotiated. So negotiated means a private bid result. So for example, we'll just click on this Porsche car dealership. So this one was published by us back in April 2002. So again, your description is listed down here. It's letting you know demolition of Infiniti showroom and service building for the construction of a new two-story Porsche automotive dealership. We go to the planning notes. So what's nice about this, because it's an older project, you can actually, the most recent note is at the top saying vertical construction is underway. But it's letting you know if you go back in history when demo was completed, when it started, all the approvals it went through to get there. So it's really kind of nice to give you a background. So in this section, GCs are already awarded in the negotiated section. So it can be in any phase of construction. It could be still going through the approval process, completed, updated of work in progress, which is what this one is. You also have, every one of these will have a contractor, attorney, location, and the information you need. In this stage for a demo contractor, it is a little bit too late for you, but I've never met a contractor who didn't want to know what everyone else is doing. So let's go to out to bid. So these are the brand new public jobs that just came out for bid today. I'm going to scroll down and put a few more on one page right here. And they're all flagged as new over here. And if you look, we got lucky. There's actually a demolition project that just came out for bid today. So let's click on it and take a look. So this was published today. It has the bid due date and time listed, location, owner, design firm, document information, pre-bid meeting information. Now, if it was a mandatory pre-bid, it would say mandatory in the front, so you know, and that way you cannot miss it. But this one, attendance is encouraged, but not mandatory. And it has a description of the projects. You can see exactly it's demolition of a vacant former police buildings. And you can kind of see the information if that's something that could be good for you. And if it is, you're going to, again, track the project and throw it in your tracking folder on the home page. Now, we're going to come down here to show you updates. So these are all flagged as brand new. These down here are updates of existing projects. So we just click on this one. I'm clicking on this one for a particular reason because it's a rebid. So when I click on this project, updated projects will have a little bit more information. You'll end up seeing more of a description. You'll see people who have picked up a set of plans who intend to bid on this project as well. And then if this is a good project, you can go to the notes section and see the original bid because this is a rebid. So if we click on that, it's going to tell me that this was actually bid on May 31st, and I can see that who bid it and what the numbers were and that they were rejected. Now, the last tab for the daily report is bid results. So these are the previous day's bid results that just happened. And again, we got lucky because there's a demo one I noticed on here. So this is the project. You can see all these projects bid yesterday, and we have the results today. And this is, again, is the benefit of us having those local reporters on the street hunting it down. So if we look at this bid result, we can come here and we can see Tamco was the low bidder at $994. We can see all the other companies who bid this project. And you can also click on companies and track them too, as well as the project. So if I click on Gepper Brothers here, it's going to bring me to their company profile page. So I can track this company with this little bullseye up here, and I can also see the information they're doing. So if they have any project in the planning section that they're involved in, I can see they're the awarded demo contractor here. I can also see anything they've been low bid on, any public bids that they were a low bidder on. And you can go, this history will go back for public bids over a 3-year period. So they've been low bid on 6 public jobs. Other projects are projects they bid, but they were not the low bidder. So their ratio is 6 out of 31 for bidding. And then negotiated is, again, any private projects that have been awarded a building GC, but all the information of their projects that have been involved in or completed are on here. So that is one day's worth of information on our daily report. We also have a new and updated since my last view. If you miss a day or you're out sick, you can click on this. Index report is your filing cabinet for public work. Everything listed in bid due date order. And then custom reports. So initially, when you start our service, since we're catering this more to demo, I created for time purposes, I created a demo contractor report. And I'm going to really go to the modify section just so you can see what I did. So basically, I created a report where I added private work and public work. So private work only within the last month, which is actually great because it's just the things that are moving. And then public work for everything that's out to bid and bid results I went back 90 days. Then I just went to our keywords section and I clicked on demo and demolition. We have some select trade reports already made up, so it can be really simple for you. And then I went, geography is another way you can also narrow down. You can narrow, I'm looking in South Jersey, Eastern PA, and Delaware for our purposes now, but you can click by the county if you want to do that as well. So let's view this report. So every one of these projects has demolition on it. It's just depending on the territory or where you want to look. And I flagged a couple that I thought might be interesting. So here's a Chick-fil-A. Because who doesn't like Chick-fil-A, right? So this again was published just earlier this month. Demolition of a Ruby Tuesday restaurant for construction of a 5,000 square foot Chick-fil-A, drive-through lanes and 50 parking spaces. So this is going before that. It looks like this will be heard by the Middletown Planning Board on 6/14. So we should have an update on that soon. Demolition, owner's Chick-fil-A, owner developer is listed as well as the location. So again, you can track it. You can add yourself as interested. Another one that might be interesting is actually, let's take a look at this one because this is everyone in this area should know about the 76ers new facility going up and what's happening. So again, this is demolition of the western portion of the Fashion District for the construction of the stadium that will hold 18,500 seats and the rest of the plans for the 76ers new stadium. You can see the planning notes have been going on for a while. So there, to see the most recent note is that the 76ers plan to invest $50 billion into the community benefits agreement, going through some legislation, zoning variants, and studies that are going to be happening. All the design firms, developers, location. This is first quarter of 2026 is when they expect this, and it's $1.3 billion project. So everybody and their brother is going to want to care about this. And as you can see, people are already starting to add themselves in here. So might be a good one to track. It's definitely demolition on there as well. So those are some pre-planning, early stage planning. I highlighted another one, another warehouse. This is in Bristol, this project. And again, you'll see the developer is STD Associates, and they're going actually through the attorney. So it's demolition of 2 existing buildings for the construction of a over 200,000 square foot warehouse, loading spaces, and a bunch more. So as of 6/19, it's telling us that there's a new target date at the tops, which will be fall of this year. So this one again has no GC awarded. Nothing has happened on it. The demo hasn't happened. So it's a great one to jump on and get involved in now. Now, negotiated again, private bid result. And we can, I think we looked at this one earlier, the Porsche dealership from the daily report, but the same type of thing. You have your contractor listed on here now, and a lot more information and detail of what's happening on the project. So, and again, the negotiated section can be anyone, it can be in any phase of construction. It just means that GC is awarded, but at this stage for demo, it is a little bit too late. Now out to bid, these are the brand new public projects that just came out for bid. So actually these are all the projects currently out for bid for demo, excuse me. So I'm going to put this down to basically go to the last page because these are the ones with the farthest bidding date, which might be interesting to look at. So we kind of scroll through. There's a decontamination demolition in McKee Run generating station in Dover. There's another training facility in Bethany Beach. But on these are kind of how they look. So this was published on the 23rd. This one's bidding on 8/7. It'll highlight your word in here too, which will help a lot. And you can see this is what I mentioned earlier about a mandatory pre-bid meeting. And you see the description because this one just recently came out, but you can kind of take a look at it early. Is this something interesting? Do you want to track it? And once you track it, it'll allow you to receive all the updates of the information as people pick up plans and any more information about the job. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else that looks interesting for us on here. Oh, here's one, Seaside Heights demolition project. So this one came out a couple days ago as well, about a week ago. It's bidding on 7/18. And Seaside Heights, the owner is the Borough of Seaside Heights, Canning Group, single contract. So this is kind of typical of how they look when they first come out new. You should see an update with description on there shortly. But again, if it's a good one, throw it in your track bucket and track that project. And then bid results. Same type of thing. You can kind of scroll through the bid results and see that any of the projects that have had the word demo in them, each one of these is going to highlight, and you'll be able to see the part that has demo in the actual project itself and the bid results and everyone who bid it and their numbers. So that is our customized report. That's really kind of how you start our service. So once you've combed through it and you've tracked all those jobs, you just really need to look at the daily report and spend about 5 minutes a day using our service and know everything that's happening. Now to move over to this side, this is our search feature. So this is really, think of this as Google. You're trying to find one thing quickly. So for example, one of the jobs we saw earlier, it said, I think it was high rise. So it was high tech, I think it was. So I can type in a project and see it populate right here to bring me that job if I know the title of the project. When I'm on a searchable page, the search bar goes up to the top. So if I want to search anything else, I can. And if you highlight over it, you can drill down by your territory to narrow down your focus. And you can highlight over it to tell you what these icons mean. This is searching for a project like we just did by the title. This is searching for a GC or sub, material supplier, equipment dealer, architect, engineer, and owner. So the owner could be the Township of Deptford, local, or it could be Wawa Dairies, a private owner. It doesn't matter. And then, for example, we can also come over here and we can look at a company. So say we want to look at Blue Rock Construction, right? So if I take a look at Blue Rock, this is a private general contractor who does a lot of warehouse work. But say it's somebody you want to know what they're doing. You want to track not only your competitors like we did with the Gepper brothers, but you also want to track the GCs perhaps too. And you can come back and kind of see, oops, I hit the wrong one. Rock. And you can also come over here and see some of the other projects and stuff that Blue Rock is involved in. Mostly they're doing warehouse work, but if they're doing knocking down something to put up the warehouse, in which in most cases they are, you can kind of reach out and see their history of work. And also contact names and who to reach out to and email addresses as well. And the last thing I'm going to show you is you can also sponsor. There's some advertising opportunities on our website as well. So for example, I know we're talking about demolition, but say if you needed a paving sub, you can come over here and look in South Jersey. Actually, let's type that in, South Jersey. And type in paving, and it's going to give you a list of everyone who do paving in South Jersey, which is 251 companies. So people can sponsor these categories. So instead of looking at this list of 200 people, that's an option to do as well if you want to stand out in the demolition category. Now, the last thing I want to go over with you is the tracked folders. So this is where we talked about earlier, and I tracked some people ahead of time so you would know what it looks like when there's an update. So it's letting me know on the track contractors I have one update. On the track projects, I have one update. So if I click over here, I can see I've tracked about 10 companies in here, and I can put notes in here. They're all listed in alphabetical order. But if I scroll down here to RF Binky Wrecking, I can see that they just placed a bid, meaning they weren't the low bidder, but they bid something. So if I click on them, I can go to their other bids and see that they bid this project in Norristown yesterday, but they did not get it. And you can see where their number was on the list as well, right here, right in the middle of the pack. And from here, I can also look at their other bids if I want to check what are they doing. If they're holding plans right now, there will be a tab in between here that says holding plans as well. And the last thing, and if you notice, now that I clicked on them, the signal went away because I've updated it. And then project, this is letting you know any updates on projects. I'm tracking 19 projects, but this one is flagged with an update. So it'll let you know. So anything that we tracked while we were doing this demo is now in here safely. And any updates will alert us to let us know. So that's kind of like a review of our site. One thing I did want to go back and show you when we were talking about the buttons on the side, there is a contact CIS button, which leads us into our customer service team, which is really going to ruin you for the rest of your life with customer service because they're dynamic. And basically, if you have a question about a project, you can ask it. They literally will stop what they're doing, reach out to our reporters to hunt down that answer and get back to you very quickly with an answer. So our customer service is fantastic. There are also training videos. We can schedule one-on-one or group demos with of our service with you. We can also cater this to, this is just a quick kind of review, but if you wanted to cater this a little bit more toward your company, I'd be happy to do that. And if you have any questions at all, you can ask them in the chat, or you also have my contact information up here as well. By the way, this is being recorded. So we're going to send this out to you after today. So you'll have 24 hours to review it, as well as share it with anyone in your office, or maybe a friend you feel like who could also benefit from our service. So I just, again, wanted to thank you for taking a look, and hopefully you have a better understanding of our local service based here in New Jersey and how we might be able to help you with finding new work. Thank you and have a great day.